Alright, what's going on, bros? Chris Faison here. Just got done with chest day. Although what I recorded was strictly flat bench, which was my first station and also my main station of chest day. So what I like to do with this video is just make it a video on nothing but flat bench and what flat bench looks like as a station in my chest day. And I'd like to do that because flat bench is a station that the majority of people hit, especially guys, on chest day. I mean, that is, that is your foundation of your chest day. So, especially since I have yet to record any clips of me benching, I feel like it worked out perfectly so I can make this video happen, and so that I don't want flat bench to get undermined and just thrown into a small section of a full chest day video. So this way it'll get more attention and more time than it would otherwise, and that way you can see everything from technique and form and everything in between. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll see you in the next clip.
You're not listening to A-Rod Music.
So as you saw in the video, I always start my first set off with just a plate, just 135 pounds. Get the blood flowing, get your technique down, make sure that your back and your scapula is contracted. Make sure that your back and your scapula are retracted. Make sure your elbows feel right, your grip is right, your placement, your foot placement, everything, guys. So, and it's necessary because if you're going to, work your way up, as I did, I worked my way up to 275 for a double, for a set of 2. And, there's no way that you can go just completely cold into bench and into your chest day and expect to be able to jump to 225 first set and then 275 right after that. You know, just asking for an injury, and it's not worth it to be impatient, because you're better off just spending, you know, 10 extra minutes on that station and making sure you're warm and you're prepared, rather than jumping up a high and excessive amount of weight. So from 135, I threw on the 25 and jumped to 185, and I hit that for a set of 8, I believe. That's another thing, is that you don't want to keep the numbers up for each set, especially if you plan on working your way up to either, you know, maxing out or finishing your last set, you know, a set of 2 or even a set of 3. So you want to conserve your energy for the end. You know, that's the mission with that. So 185 for a set of 8, and then from 185 I threw on a plate and hit 225, which is 2 plates for a set of 4. Now you see a big difference, how the amount of reps automatically cut, you know, into half of what they were just the previous set. So a set of 4, you know, weight's getting heavier, and I know that, you know, the next 2 or 3 sets, you know, the last sets are going to be grinders, and they're going to be even heavier than that one. So I want to make sure that I work enough and I get enough reps to where, you know, I'm warmed and my muscles feel the pump, and, you know, everything is functioning the way it should be. But I also want to make sure that I'm fresh enough for the next and for the last, you know, 2 or 3 sets, and that I have enough energy to hit my goal. So from 225, I threw on a 10 and a 5. So that jumped me from 225 to 255. 255 I hit for a double, and you know, it was feeling good. It was a really smooth 2 reps. Another tip that I want to point out is that right after 225, from 225 to 255, and then from 255 to my last set, which was 275, I also extended the time on my brakes. Between each set, I pretty much extend the time on my brakes by about 30 seconds. So I may begin, you know, from my very first, you know, warm-up set, which is 135. I may, from 135 to the 155, I may have a 30-second break. Although from 155 to 225, you know, I could have a minute to maybe a minute and a half long break. And so by the time I got to my last set, between 255 and 275, you know, my break was probably a 2.5 minute break, which is long for me. I usually, no matter what station it is, I usually keep the tempo going. You know, keep my heart rate up. You know, keep the sweat going, the blood flowing. And although that's something that you have to change up if you know that your weight is increasing, and it's something that is really going to challenge you, and that's something that you really want to do before you hit your max or anything close to your max, because you'll have to take a little more time to ensure that you can be able to hit your goal, you know, whatever that is. Finished off with 275, which is 2 45-pound plates and a 25 plate on each side, and hit that for a set of 2. It was super smooth. Honestly, looking back, I should have gone for more. Should have thrown an extra 10 on there, but but it's also the first day of more of my cutting phase. You know, slowly and gradually get into cutting, so I can maintain as much muscle mass while of course losing fat. So I wanted to keep the reps up, and I knew that for the rest of the stations, you know, the rest of the chest day, I was going to keep my reps up, you know, higher than 8 reps, definitely. So there wasn't really a point to maxing out today. That wasn't my goal, was to max out, and I believe that's something to keep in mind, because even if you're performing, you know, and exceeding your expectations, that doesn't necessarily mean that you should let, you know, your ego get in the way of your long-term goal. You know, because if I could have hit 285 or even 290, you know, for 1 rep, yeah, that would have been badass, but it also would have negatively impacted the rest of my workout, as far as not being able to get the reps in the last, you know, 4 stations, the following 4 stations. So sometimes you have to, you know, humble yourself, accept that you had a good day, you know, on that station, and whether you met your expectations or you exceeded them, and you just gotta take it, you know, go with it. You got exactly what you wanted, and now just move on and kill the rest of your workout, right? So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I know it's a different video because it's, you know, specifically all about flat bench, and you won't see, you know, a variation of different workouts, you know, targeting different muscles. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you can take something out of it. If there's any questions as far as numbers, as far as any questions concerning tips on technique, on form, on any tips of what maybe your goal should be, just comment them down below. I'll be happy to answer them, happy to help. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
You're now listening to A-Rod Music.